Most people wake up and feel rushed before the day even starts. The alarm rings, you grab your phone, you check notifications. Within 2 minutes, your mind is already reacting. Someone didn't reply. Someone posted something better than you. The news is negative. Your brain is already busy, and you haven't even stood up. By the time you sit down to work or study, you feel scattered. You try to focus. After 5 minutes, your hand reaches for the phone again without thinking. At night, when you finally lie in bed, your mind replays conversations. It predicts tomorrow's problems. It does not stop. This is the daily problem. Constant mental noise. Now let's understand why this happens. Your brain is a prediction machine. Its job is to keep you safe and efficient. It does that by constantly scanning for problems and opportunities. When you wake up and check your phone, you feed it new information. Each notification is a possible problem. Each message is a social signal. Each headline might be a threat. The brain treats uncertainty as unfinished business. When something is unfinished, it keeps returning to it. That is why you keep thinking about a message you have not replied to. The brain wants closure, but there is another layer. Your attention is limited. When something emotional appears, your brain prioritizes it. It releases stress chemicals. Your heart rate changes slightly. Muscles tighten a bit. Even if you do not notice it consciously, your body prepares. Now imagine this happening 30 times in the first hour of your day. Your nervous system never fully settles. That is why you feel restless without knowing exactly why. The brain does not clearly separate imagination from reality in the short term. If you imagine an argument vividly, your heart rate still increases. So what is meditation in this context? Meditation is not about becoming calm or spiritual. It is training your attention. Right now, your attention moves automatically toward the loudest thought. Meditation changes that habit.
Let's walk through how that changes your life step by step. First change. You begin to notice thoughts instead of becoming them. Normally, when a thought appears, you follow it instantly. If the thought says, "They don't respect you," your mind starts building a story. But during meditation, you sit and observe your breath. A thought appears. You notice it. You label it silently as thinking. Then you return to the breath. This seems small, but here is what actually happens in the brain. When you notice a thought, you activate the part of the brain responsible for monitoring and control. Instead of emotional regions running the show automatically, higher-level regions step in. Over time, this strengthens your ability to pause. Because you practice pausing in meditation, you start pausing in real life. Now imagine the same situation as before. Someone makes a comment. A thought appears. They are insulting me. Because you trained the pause, you notice the thought as a thought. You do not immediately build a story. The emotional reaction becomes weaker because you did not fuel it with additional thinking. That is the first mechanism. Awareness creates a gap. The second change, your nervous system learns how to settle. During meditation, you sit still. You focus on breathing. Breathing slowly and steadily signals safety to the body. The body and brain are connected both ways. When the brain thinks there is danger, the body reacts. But when the body is calm, the brain receives that signal too. If you practice sitting calmly every day, your baseline stress level lowers. Not because you forced positivity, but because your nervous system experiences repeated periods of non-reactivity. For example, you're stuck in traffic. Normally your jaw tightens. You check the time repeatedly. You imagine being late. But if your body is trained to return to calm more easily, the stress spike is smaller. You still prefer not being late, but your system does not escalate. This saves energy. The third change, you become aware of habits in real time. Most habits are automatic loops. Cue, action, reward. You feel bored. You open social media. You get stimulation. That stimulation reduces boredom temporarily, so the brain remembers it as useful. Meditation increases your sensitivity to the cue. For example, you are working. You feel a slight discomfort. Before meditation, you would already be scrolling. After meditation practice, You feel the discomfort clearly. You notice the urge. You do not move immediately. That small delay is enough to choose differently. You might still check your phone sometimes, but now it is a choice, not a reflex. That difference changes productivity over months. The fourth change, your perception becomes less distorted by immediate emotion. Emotions narrow perception. When you are angry, you only see evidence that supports anger. When you are anxious, you only see threats. Meditation trains you to observe emotions as temporary physical sensations: tight chest, warm face, faster thoughts. When you see them as sensations, you stop treating them as facts. Say you receive feedback from a teacher or boss. Your chest tightens. A thought appears, "I am not good enough." If you are not aware, that thought feels like truth. But if you have practiced observing sensations, you notice the tightness first. You notice the thought second. You understand that the thought is triggered by discomfort. Because of that, you evaluate feedback more logically. Now let's move to application. If someone has never meditated before, what do they actually do? Step 1. Choose a fixed time, not when you feel like it. The brain forms habits through repetition in the same context. Morning after brushing teeth is simple. Step 2. Sit in a chair, back straight but not stiff, feet on the ground, hands resting. Do not lie down because you may fall asleep. The goal is awareness, not sleep. Step 3. Set a timer for 5 minutes, not 20. The brain resists large changes. Small commitments reduce resistance. Step 4. Close your eyes and bring attention to breathing. Do not control it at first. Just feel air entering and leaving. Notice where you feel it most clearly: nose, chest, stomach. Step 5. Thoughts will appear within seconds. This is normal. When you notice you are thinking, say in your mind, "thinking." Then gently return to breathing. Do not judge the thought. Do not analyze it. The act of noticing is the training. Why does this repetition matter? Because every time you notice and return, you strengthen the mental muscle of redirection. It is similar to lifting a weight. The repetition builds capacity. After 1 week, increase to 8 or 10 minutes if comfortable. Now let's make this practical in daily life. During the day, pick one routine activity as a mini practice. This connects meditation to real life. It teaches the brain that attention can stay with simple physical reality without needing constant stimulation. Another practice. When you feel a strong emotion, pause and label it specifically. Not just bad. Say anger or anxiety. Then identify one physical sensation connected to it. This reduces intensity because labeling activates rational processing. It moves the experience from pure reaction to observation. Over months, these small shifts accumulate. You waste less time in mental simulations of worst-case scenarios. You recover faster from embarrassment. You interrupt some unhealthy habits. You listen more carefully in conversations because your attention is not constantly pulled inward. But meditation does not remove problems. You will still face deadlines, conflicts, uncertainty. The difference is structural. Without meditation, your mind runs automatically. It reacts first and analyzes later. With meditation, analysis often comes before reaction. That reordering changes outcomes. Imagine 2 people receiving criticism. One reacts immediately, defends, escalates the situation. The other feels the reaction internally but waits. Because of that pause, they ask a question instead of attacking. The social result is different. The relationship outcome is different. The stress level after the event is different. That difference started in a 5-minute daily practice. Meditation changes your life not by adding something new, but by reducing unnecessary internal noise. When noise decreases, perception becomes clearer. When perception is clearer, decisions improve. When decisions improve repeatedly, life direction shifts gradually. It is not dramatic, it is incremental. If you try this for 1 week, you will mostly notice how restless your mind is. That is not failure. That is awareness increasing. If you continue for 1 month, you will notice small pauses appearing in daily reactions. If you continue for 6 months, people around you may describe you as calmer or more focused, even if you do not feel dramatically different. The practice is simple. Sit, observe, notice distraction, return. At the end of the day, meditation is not about achieving a special state. It is about seeing clearly how your mind works. When you see clearly, you interfere less with yourself. And when you interfere less with yourself, your natural ability to think, decide, and act becomes more stable. That stability, built slowly, is what changes a life.